What's good, y'all?
First thing I'm gonna do in this video is just give a shout out and a prayer. If you guys know Suns fans out there, call them, give them a hug, just say you feel for them, man, because I am feeling so bad for Suns fans right now. In case you guys missed it, just 2 nights ago, the Phoenix Suns lost in 6 games to the Denver Nuggets, but they didn't just lose in 6, they lost by 25 points in an elimination game at home for the second year in a row. I would say last year is probably a little bit worse because it was a 30-point loss in a Game 7 at home. At Game 7, you would think, everyone's going to step up. Even though Game 6, this one was also an elimination game, there's no coping with it, man. Back-to-back 30-point losses in an elimination game. Not even 30-point losses, 30-point by halftime. They were up 30 by halftime in both of these games. I'm feeling for y'all. In the beginning of the game, things just weren't really looking good for the Suns. KD in the first half was 2 for 11, and it wasn't even like he was taking these crazy-ass shots. KD himself as a player takes wild shots, but it was just like pretty open mid-ranges, fading in the mid-range, just brick, getting to the bucket, just not really finishing. He didn't look sharp. I don't know if you guys heard that notification from my computer, my bad. But he just didn't look sharp. He didn't look like he was prepared. I don't want to say prepared because, Kevin Durant is like that. But, he just looked off. And I feel like this whole playoffs, he's kind of been off. We usually keep Kevin Durant to, a standard all the way up here. And he's been playing kind of here. Not bad, but just not to Kevin Durant standard, And then on top of that, D-Book was only 4 for 12 in the first half. And obviously, that is not the best. He has been killing it this entire playoff run, especially against the Nuggets. So, I'm not slandering him for this. He's still had a crazy playoffs. It was just very disappointing that in the elimination game, back-to-back years, he didn't really show up. It's funny, though. I did see this stat. I think it was StatMuse that tweeted it out. That Devin Booker against the Nuggets in this playoffs, he's 0-4. So they lose every single time. He shoots under 78%. So they need Devin Booker to shoot damn near 80% at a shooting guard for them to have a chance of winning. It blows my mind. And to make matters worse, not only was Phoenix just really sluggish and not hitting shots, and not really playing good basketball, Denver was playing some of its best basketball it's played in the playoffs, if we're being frank. Nikola Jokic was getting every single thing he wanted, no matter what it was, where he was on the court, if it was a shot, a pass, a rebound, putback, whatever it was, he was getting it seamlessly, easy, there was no one defending him. To be fair, DeAndre Ayton was out with, I think it was a rib contusion. I don't know when he got hurt, how he got hurt, what it was, but he sat out the game, so he probably has played his last game as a Sun. We'll get to that towards the end of the video, but that leads the Suns to have Jacques Landale start, and he obviously is not a starting caliber center, no disrespect. Then behind him he had Bismack Biyombo, who, no disrespect, can probably play spot minutes for you, but not against the best center in the league. So he was just getting stuff at will. He almost had a triple-double at halftime. It was 20 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists on 83% from the field. I forgot to mention too, he was a plus 32, not in the whole game, but just in the first half alone, a plus 32. And to make things even worse, you want to know who the number 2 guy was next to Jokic that was killing it? Maybe it was Jamal Murray. He's been on a hot streak. Maybe Michael Porter Jr. He could shoot over anyone. Just get hot, shoot shots, and just make it. Maybe Aaron Gordon. He was cutting really hard, doing the dirty work, and putbacks and everything. No, it was Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. KCP. No disrespect to KCP. But if I was a Suns fan and I was getting dogged by KCP, oh my god, how quickly I would shut my TV off. KCP was just getting gifted buckets, hand-wrapped, bow tie and all, by Jokic. He was just giving him buckets, man. Whether it was a quick cut to the basket, a little curl around him, obviously the three-point shot. He was 2 for 3 from 3 in the first half. He was just getting buckets. He had 21 at the halftime, 7 for 8 from the field, so he was just super efficient, getting to his spots. And Jokic would just post up, little drop down over here, little flip ahead over there, oh, he's in the corner right there, wide open. He was getting hand-wrapped gifts of buckets to him, and he was capitalizing. If there is one bright spot, though, it was close in the first quarter. It was kind of close in the first quarter, and that's just because Cam Payne was on a heater to start it off. He was 5 for 5 from 3. And it's funny too because I missed the first few minutes of the game, first 3 minutes maybe. And I walked in and I was talking to my roommate and I was like, yeah, Chris Paul's out. Now they got Cam Payne and starting. That's pretty rough. and campaign just immediately bucket. I was like, damn, that's crazy. He was just going and going and going. And, you know, like I said, silver lining, kind of. He's the only reason that it was close. He was the only person that really showed up for the Suns. But I think it was to start the second quarter. Maybe it was late in the first quarter. I'm pretty sure to start the second, though. The Nuggets went on a 13-0 run, and they could not buy a bucket. The Suns could not buy a bucket or anything. That kind of just blew the doors open, and they kind of got defeated. I wonder if, you know, low-key in the back of their minds, they started creeping in, you know, the fact that last year this is how their season ended. That kind of just got them even lower. But, you know, you never know. I don't want to put words into the players' mouths and everything. It was ugly. Luckily for me, though, as you guys know, I'm an East Coast guy, so those games, you know, those late games kind of suck. I was able to go to sleep by halftime, man. You know, they were up 30, and I was sleeping good in my bed by 11:30 night, bro. But obviously, this was a very disappointing end of the season for the Phoenix Suns. I had a lot of expectations. Me personally, I was thinking, you know, if they don't win the championship this year, it's not the biggest deal. Kevin Durant barely played on the team with them. They don't have much depth. They sold a lot of their depth, pretty much all of their depth, to go get KD. So I'm not really, you know, bugging out if I'm a Suns fan. Obviously, it sucks that it was by 30. You know, you would think it would be at least a little close game. But, you know, I'd say we go into this offseason, you got to retool around Devin Booker, around Kevin Durant, get a deep team so they don't have to play 40 minutes and score 80 points combined. And then attack it next season where they have more of the chemistry, more of the pieces built, and then a more all-around complete team. The first of that starts off with trading Chris Paul and trading DeAndre Ayton. Starting with Chris Paul, I think it does kind of suck because he's getting up there in age. He's got that huge contract. I think it's $36 million, something like that. It's going to be hard to move him. I think he's going to kind of fall into the Russell Westbrook kind of area where he's an aging point guard, not as effective as he once was. So like the big contract kind of just devalues him super down low. He's not a good defender. Chris Paul can still, you know, play make and everything. But the difficult issue with him and both Russell Westbrook too, going back to that comparison, they're both most effective with the ball in their hands. So having them on a competing team, because obviously Chris Paul is going to want to compete for a championship still. It's kind of tough to fit them in there with that big old contract, with his deficiencies and the fact that he has to have the ball to be the most Chris Paul he could be. But as we've seen with Westbrook, once he gets bought out, making a small contract, more sizable contract for his production, he could be really effective and affect the games in different ways and just buy into the fact that he's not the player he once was, but he could still impact winning basketball. I think that's going to be a lot like Chris Paul. I think he's going to have to get bought out of this contract to really see like his great value that he can still bring to the basketball court. It's kind of tough for the Suns though, because the Lakers, they traded Russell Westbrook tied with a pick and got their guys of Vando, Beasley, D'Lo. I don't know if there's really a trade like that out there for the Suns. It is reported that he is very likely to not be on the Suns next season. So I really have no idea what the trade could be for Chris Paul. And then for DeAndre Ayton, he really tanked his value a whole lot in this playoff series, which really sucks for both him and the Phoenix Suns. But I'm sure there's going to be some team out there that's going to buy low on him. Maybe the Pacers. I know they just signed the extension to Miles Turner, but maybe the Pacers still want him. They put in the offer sheet for him, when he was a restricted free agent. Maybe that could happen. I don't know. Maybe it could be a Miles Turner, Buddy Hield swap for him. That would be really good for the Suns. Get, some more shooting with Buddy Hield. Get a real shot blocker and, low maintenance type of guy at the center, Miles Turner. I don't know if that's still out there, though. I've seen rumors of a sign and trade for Kyrie. I don't know if Kyrie wants to, go to Phoenix, if that would be the smartest move to just get bucket getters. We kind of seen that in Brooklyn. It is looking a little tough on those two fronts for the Phoenix Suns, but hopefully they can free up that money a little bit at least so they can get some more depth players, some actual role players on the team. And then last but not least, Monty Williams, he might be on the hot seat. He might be gone, honestly. He might be gone. Like I said, back-to-back years where an elimination game, your team gets blown out by 30 by halftime. At home, it's hard for me to fathom of them keeping a coach after that. So that brings into the question who they're going to hire. Could be a new guy, an internal guy. I'm not too familiar with the Suns coaching staff. Maybe they have an up-and-coming, assistant that they really like. Or they could go the Nick Nurse route. He's still out there. I could see him playing pretty well with KD, with D-Book, having him as their head coach. Maybe they go, Coach Budenholzer, he just got fired. He could be there. There's definitely coaches out there that are, can sign with the Suns and can take them to that next level. It's a tough spot they're in right now. And again, Phoenix Suns fans, I am very sorry for you. I'm feeling for you. I can't imagine how that would feel. But again, I do want to shout out the Denver Nuggets. Jokic has been killing it this entire season. Insane numbers. One of 3 players to average a triple-double over a playoff series. And he shot the best out of all of them. The other 2 being LeBron and Westbrook, in case you're wondering. The Nuggets are looking scary, though. It looks like they will match up against the Lakers as long as they don't blow their 3-1 lead. That's going to be a really, really fun matchup to watch. Anthony Davis and Nikola Jokic. LeBron, how is he going to be in there? Who's going to be guarding Jamal Murray on the perimeter to stop him, slow him down? A lot of different intricacies in that playoffs. But we'll get to that once, that's officially set. We'll have a video predicting those matchups. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you leave it a like, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. In the description, there'll be links to all my social medias, so make sure you follow me on all those to keep up to date with me. Catch y'all.